Welcome to the Washington Defender Podcast. I'm your host, Pastor Brian Noble, CEO of Family Policy Institute of Washington. We're at the Roanoke Conference here in Ocean Shores. And I have a special guest with us today. Introduce yourself today.
Yes, thank you for having me here. My name is Rufina Nord. I am the Washington State Young Republicans National Committee woman.
That is a mouthful. That is
isn't
great.
it?
I love it, though. I love it. So what brings you to Roanoke this weekend, and what are you passionate about?
Honestly, I've been involved with the Young Republicans for the last 3 years, and my passion clearly lies with the young conservatives, the young voters, and that is what I'm here for. I am here to advertise for our young conservative voters, for the constituents that fall for that age category.
So I thought Republicans and conservatives were all old people. Is that not?
It is not true. There's a
Yeah.
lot of young people out there. I promise we are out here, and we're ready to vote. We're ready to make a change and difference in the country.
Yeah, what kind of changes are you hoping to accomplish? What are you hearing from the young people? Those kind of things.
I mean, I think it's no-brainer that young Republicans are huge supporters of Donald Trump, President Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, young Republicans all around the nations did deployments throughout like the last year and sent out Washington State ourselves. We sent out young Republicans to different states like Arizona, California, Alaska, North Carolina, Montana as well.
Yeah.
And there's some other states I'm probably blanking on,
That's okay.
but really just involving them with the politics, being boots on the ground, grassroots, pass out literature, door knock, voter contact outreach, and just really getting young Republicans involved in politics. So that way, when people look at the Republican Party, they don't say, "Oh, it's all gray hair." You know,
Yeah.
there's a variety of hairs around the room now.
My wife likes to say, "Did the nursing home show up at the legislative?" You know, because it's like all old people, right? And so, I mean, I guess I am older as well. But okay, so what topics or what issues are the young Republicans? What are they pursuing, and why does it seem like there's a little bit of a switch over to the more conservative side of things? And why is that?
I would say yes. I think especially thanks to Biden's administration the last 4 years,
Right.
there's been, as we've seen, a huge increase in taxes. There's been lack of jobs, and that's what we young people need. We are out there starting families. We need to get jobs. We want to buy a house,
Right.
And there's been, I think, a switch of a lot of maybe even moderate Republicans or young people,
Yeah.
moderate young people who realize that, wait a minute, if I want to buy a house in the next 4 years, I might want to vote for Trump.
Right.
If I want to not lose my job, not get cut, or have more job opportunities, I might want to vote Republican.
Right.
And so I think a big push is the fact that young people are realizing that a lot of these things that their parents were able to have when they were out our ages, we aren't able to have. And because of that, we need to change the policies around us. So we're not all about guns and shooting.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I love shooting, but I mean, I get what you're
But
saying.
I would say that taxes and safety in our communities have become
Yeah.
a really big issue that we are interested in pursuing.
Yeah, so I probably have kids your age. So I have 3 grandchildren, and one of the things I think about is like,
You look so young.
I know, thanks. But one of the things I think about is like they can't even go to the park really because it's just not safe, and so that is a horrible kind of place to live. I remember like as a kid, we'd ride our bikes all around town, and we would do these kind of things. And my parents never gave it a consideration of whether there was a safety issue, but it seems like that's there. And then the affordability of housing. Either one of us, let's bring it up, of why housing is so expensive. So it's regulation, right? So in the state of Washington, it's like $80,000 to $120,000 just in regulational costs.
Yes, very, very true. I mean, you said it
Right.
yourself, really. I don't know what else I can add on
No,
top
that's
of that.
good. No, that's good. That's good. So when you look at it, I mean, it makes it non-affordable. My first house I bought was $98,000.
What?
Yeah,
Lucky
$98,000. Yeah, and unfortunately, I didn't hold on to it long enough. But the fact is, it's regulation costs that are driving that up. And then
Yeah.
you said taxes. What's happening on that? What are you hearing on the street? What kind of taxes are most important to these young Republicans?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what? We actually have a government affairs committee. You should invite that
Oh,
person
no,
over
no,
right
no. Then
now.
let's just keep moving. We'll go into it.
Yeah, but we have a committee that actually specializes in that,
Yeah.
like looking at legislative House bills and
Right.
Senate bills that, to focus
Yeah.
on those issues. But I'd say, we were looking at the natural gas taxes, right?
Right.
We've been looking at all kinds of different taxes around Washington State this past election. We've been supporting Let's Go Washington as well, helping
Yeah.
them out, because I think some of that are correlated
They are.
with each other. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't be able to tell you
No,
exactly
it's
what
okay.
tax
So like
bill.
gas tax, so you look at it, and a lot of people don't understand this. The biggest tax on our gas bill that, we fill up our tank is Washington State taxes within there. The federal is just a small part, and the Washington State is huge.
Very true.
And so, I think all of us like environmental stewardship. Ronald Reagan said, yeah, we love the environment, right? But we've got to get somewhere between a bird cage that we live in and, you just not caring, right? So there's got to be somewhere in between that we're doing those kind of things. So any closing remarks that you want to make to our listeners today?
Honestly, I would say join the Young Republicans of Washington State. You can look it up on WSYR.org. If you are between ages of 18 and 40, we would love to welcome you to our organization. It's not only just politics talk. Sometimes it's just hanging out and having a community of people that are like-minded. And as always, God bless America.
Amen. And so it's
WSYR.org. Washington State YoungRepublicans.org. That's where you go.
That's where you go. Awesome. Well, like we like to say around here, we are so glad you listened in today. Let's go out there and change Washington State one mind at a time. And it's important that if you haven't downloaded the Washington Defender app, that you do that. That it's one place to learn, one place to huddle, one place to activate on political issues and really have that conversation that we're talking about. We are a people that know that freedom is best for everybody. And so we're so glad that you're here. Check out the Young Republicans of Washington State, and we would love to see you get involved because we know we can make a difference. Washington is not too far gone. It's turning red, folks. God bless.